You look at the future of the Mountain West and its TV situation, its broadcast rights, media rights. Where do you see it going at this point? Obviously, you've got 3 years in the existing contract. Is that
Right,
correct?
that's
But
correct.
beyond that, when you start looking beyond that,
Well, I think we're trying to keep up with the times, and part of it is generationally. You've got a couple 100,000 students that are 18 to 20 years old on our campus. They're not watching cable, they're not watching satellite. They have a Netflix account and they're doing the social media. But the acronym I mentioned yesterday with Facebook and Amazon, Netflix, Google, Twitter, Yahoo, how do people consume their information? So you've got a 20-something-year-old student. Then you've got a 35, 40-year-old, been out of school for a decade or so, 2 kids, trying to get to soccer practice, trying to get up to Fort Collins to the football game. What is their life like? And then you've got the 70-year-old who's maybe paying the majority of the bills, buying the suites and contributing to the program, and they're watching it on television. And read television to mean ESPN. And then they have a tough decision. If it's kind of a nasty night, am I going to go to the game, or I'm just going to stay home and watch it on TV? Am I going to make that 6-hour commitment to drive to a brand new stadium? So we're trying to appease everybody and find that right mix. And so we have a couple more years, 18 months, to determine what's happening in the marketplace in the industry. And I can assure you, Kelly, we'll make a decision sometime in the first or second quarter of 2019, and I'm making this up hypothetically. We'll go with ESPN and Google, and then by the time the contract starts in July 2020, we'll go, why'd we do that Google thing? There's something new and flashier out there. I don't know. So it's a game we're all playing. But I think digital is going to play a big part of it because a lot of people are consuming their information in other ways than just sitting on the couch watching television.
how much, as you talk about that, do you then maybe look for shorter term contracts? Because that's the trend has been the opposite with some of these, especially the big money deals that some of the Power Fives have. They've been extended it way out into the future.
Correct.
Does that mean maybe the Mountain West looks at, hey, let's just do a 3-year deal or a 5-year deal or something, because we don't know what the future holds.
You very
We don't
well
know what
could,
it's gonna
and
look
part of it, I'll lead you on a little bit, but we've been approached by our current TV partners to extend the deal. We said we just want to keep our powder dry. We want to see what 2019 and 2020 look like, certainly even next year, 2018. And so that was the common practice in the past. Get as long term as you can, get as much revenue as you can. But I think the Big Ten proved that just the opposite with their announcement the other day. They had a short term and they did another 6-year short term. SEC, ACC are out until the mid-30s, 2030s. So you can look at it either way. I think we're trending towards let's do some short terms and see what else continues to develop.
What's the key thing the conference would have to do to generate, to maximize, I guess, the kind of revenue you might be able to get in a media rights deal?
Well, we're limited, and I mean this with all respect. I live here. I live in Colorado. We love our Mountain West region, but there's not a lot of television sets. There's a lot of mountains. There's some ridges and plateaus and buttes, and it's a gorgeous place, but there's not a lot of TV sets. So we're somewhat limited. The other thing that limits us is the time zone, the Mountain and Pacific time zone. A couple games are going to be played at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and we're going to be one of them, okay, if television wants to pay us. And so I think we're trying to blend all those factors together. I don't know what the right figure is. Obviously, you want to get as much revenue as you can, but at what expense? We heard some of the coaches talking here saying, well, these 8:30 kickoffs are killing us. Our fans aren't coming. They're just staying home. Good news is it's on TV. Bad news is it's on TV, and you can stay home and watch instead of making an effort to come to the game. And so that then puts pressure on the game day atmosphere and tailgating and getting the students to come to the game and stay at the game. And, it's just it's a Rubik's Cube, frankly, of putting it all together and listening to all the constituencies and making everybody relatively happy, nobody pleased.